In this video, I'm going to talk about the problem of generalized anxiety and phobia. And these are the anxiety disorders, which are the most common psychological problems that people experience in this country or world over. And these include phobias, for example, is a specific fear of something like dogs or cats or spiders or open spaces or high bridges or whatever. Public speaking, being sick, these are some of the more common ones, but there's an endless variety. And a generalized anxiety disorder is where there's just a sort of a background of anxiety going on, like a dark cloud hanging over you more or less all the time. And these are very common problems, and they're much more disabling than people who don't have them realise. So, for example, someone who's afraid of high bridges, and their quickest route to work is across a high bridge. Those people will go miles out of their way every single day on their way to and from work to avoid going across that high bridge, and they'll waste hours of their time, and they'll spend huge unnecessary quantities of money on petrol just because they will not take that quickest route. Or they might go miles out of their way to avoid every dog in their neighbourhood, and they'll know where they all live. And another thing about phobias is it's an embarrassing problem, and it's embarrassing when people get to know that you've got a phobia and they start giving you well-meaning advice. And they say, that bridge has stood there for 100 years, it's not going to fall down, or that's a good dog, he's not going to bite you, he's never bitten anybody. And when the person is a mile away from the dog or the bridge, that all sounds very sensible. But when they're on the bridge, they feel like it's going to fall down under them, or they're going to fall off it. And when they're face to face with the dog, they think he's going to bite them, and all the good advice they've been given just flies out the window. It means absolutely nothing. Okay, so that kind of empty talk is not what these people need. It's not what you need if you have a phobia or anxiety problem. What you need is a technique or set of techniques that enable you to, as it were, get your hand on the gear lever of your own emotions and change gears and bring your emotional level down to a nice calm level where you're in control of everything and you've got no heart palpitations or sweating or muscle tension or trembling or anything like that. And you're in control of your body, and you're also you'll be in control of your own thinking. So when people are extremely frightened, their intelligence, you could be the most intelligent person in Exeter, doesn't matter. Your intelligence flies out the window when you're in a state of panic. So when you get control of the emotional arousal, the emotional level, as that goes down, the intelligence goes back up, and you have all your thinking and all your knowledge and all your memory available to you, and you can do whatever you need to do in that situation. So that's where hypnosis comes in. It's just it's the quickest way of learning how to control any emotional reaction, particularly fear, which is the most troublesome emotion that people have. And that enables you to start to kind of introduce yourself to whatever it is you are afraid of. So if it was bridges, you start with the smaller bridges, lower bridges, and then you gradually work your way up to the highest bridge that you might need to go across, and until you get used to that as well. It's a gradual process, step by step. Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say. There's no good throwing people in at the deep end. Some people have had that unpleasant experience of, somebody's afraid of water, so somebody takes them to the swim bath and just literally chucks them in. And that generally makes people worse. You need a gradual approach, okay? And hypnotherapy is a way of facilitating that. So getting over a phobia does involve some effort from you, but the effort that you make can be applied a lot more effectively with that extra tool of hypnosis. So that's what I do. It's a problem for which I've helped many people over the last 22 years that I've been in full-time professional practice as a hypnotherapist. So if you have this kind of problem, I've mostly talked about phobias here, but also generalized anxiety as well, I can help you with. If you have this kind of problem, or if you know someone who has and whom you think might benefit, you can contact me through the contact form or by telephone, both of which you'll find here on the website. And I look forward to hearing from you and to helping you if you have this kind of problem.